Everything's wrong.
In February 2025, over western Alaska. After the final transmission, the radar blip simply vanished. 9 passengers and 1 pilot, 10 people aboard, a small commuter plane. The next day, wreckage and bodies were found across the frozen waters of Norton Sound. But something didn't add up. No distress signal was ever sent. Moments like this make people think of the Bermuda Triangle. But these coordinates point somewhere else. The Alaska Triangle. But it doesn't stop there. Disappearances like these stretch across America, reaching even the Great Lakes Triangle. Even now, the ocean may be claiming another soul. Florida, Bermuda, Puerto Rico. An expanse of ocean connecting these 3 points. For generations, people have called it the Devil's Triangle. December 5th, 1945. A U.S. Navy training squadron known as Flight 19. 5 Avenger torpedo bombers took off from Florida for a routine training flight. That afternoon, the skies were clear at first, but weather reports noted a sudden drop in pressure and heavy clouds rolling in. The horizon blurred, and the pilots began to lose their sense of direction. Compasses spun out of control, and position reports grew confused. As daylight faded and fuel ran low, their radio calls grew more frantic.
Both compasses are out. I can't be sure of our position.
Soon after, the pilots' voices changed completely.
We can't pin down our position. The readings are jumping. Heavy static, weak response. The ocean isn't normal. Requesting a new vector.
In that moment, they no longer knew where they were, as if the sea itself had stolen their direction. "14 airmen in the squadron, plus the Martin Mariner sent to rescue them. In the end, 27 souls vanished without a trace. No one was ever found and nothing was recovered. But this was only the beginning. In 1963, the freighter SS Marine Sulphur Queen. It vanished in the Bermuda waters with all 39 crew on board. For decades, the only certainty was uncertainty. No one could say where along its route it vanished. Was it just bad weather? Many believe storms alone can't explain it. Or is there something hidden in these waters, some force we still don't understand? That's how the legend was born and why the disappearances still haunt us today. May 2017. Jennifer Blumen, 40 years old, and her 2 children. Their MU-2B aircraft was flying from Florida to Puerto Rico when it suddenly lost altitude over the Bermuda Triangle. According to air traffic control records, after the final transmission, the aircraft disappeared from radar. After a 2-week search, only fragments of the plane were recovered. The family never came home.
We're doing everything we can to find this aircraft and the missing individuals.
One detail stood out. No distress call was ever made after the last signal. Could this family have been another victim of the Triangle? Controllers repeatedly requested the final coordinates, but no reply ever came. The signal cut off in that instant and never returned. February 2024. An American couple, Ralph Hendry and Kathy Brandel. They were aboard their yacht Simplicity at a marina in Grenada. But 3 escaped convicts hijacked the yacht and fled. Inside the vessel, blood was found. The fugitives were caught, but the couple's bodies were never recovered. The official report ruled it a robbery, but the exact cause of their disappearance was never confirmed. What lingers is that the crime took place near the waters of the Bermuda Triangle. It still doesn't explain why not a single trace of them was found. Scientists have put forward many explanations. Tropical storms and sudden updrafts, powerful currents like the Gulf Stream, methane gas erupting from the seafloor, glacial fog in Alaska, and even the massive waves of Lake Michigan. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, has said this:
The rate of accidents and disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle is comparable to other regions.
In other words, accidents happen across the Atlantic. And statistically, Bermuda doesn't stand out. That may be true. But here's where things get strange. In other parts of the North Atlantic, wreckage and signals are quickly recovered after a crash. Causes and locations are identified and distress records remain. But in this region, it's different. Aircraft black boxes vanish entirely and distress calls never come through. Reports show the same pattern. At the moment of the last coordinate, the record itself just cuts off. Scientists point to weather and terrain. But if it is only bad weather, why do the reports so consistently show that no evidence was left behind? The unanswered gaps remain. That's why disappearances across Bermuda, Alaska, and the Great Lakes are not seen as just turbulence or currents. They remain a mystery, as if something were swallowing the coordinates and the records. Science explains the crash. It doesn't explain the moment the record goes dark. Lake Superior, the Great Lakes Triangle. In the summer of 2024, underwater sonar scans revealed the wreck of the steamer Western Reserve, lost 132 years earlier, putting the region back in the spotlight. But the shipwreck's discovery only deepened attention on another mystery entirely. In November 1975, the ore carrier SS Edmund Fitzgerald lost contact in the middle of Lake Superior. Its final message was just one line.
We're holding our own, going along like an old shoe.
All 29 crew were lost. The wreck was later found, but why no distress call was ever made has never been fully explained. Scientists point to a rogue wave, a massive wall of water as the likely cause. But the disappearances in this region share one chilling commonality. A final voice lingers, and then the record goes dark. That silence belonged to the past, until it started repeating now. February 6, 2025, over Norton Sound, Alaska. A small commuter plane, operated by Bering Air, lost contact not long after takeoff. 10 people were on board. The next day, wreckage was found scattered across the frozen sea. Seats and parts of the fuselage were recovered, and all bodies were retrieved. Because a black box wasn't required, investigators are analyzing the limited flight data that was recovered. The NTSB's preliminary report pointed to several factors, including excess weight, icing, and severe weather at the time. That day, no distress call ever went out. With the sudden dive, both radar and ADSB went dark together. The record went dark, right there. In the region known as the Alaska Triangle, this disaster left behind another moment where the record simply stopped, as if the plane had been cut straight out of reality. Some researchers say this.
The disappearances in the Bermuda, Alaska, and Great Lakes triangles may not be explained by natural phenomena alone.
During the Cold War, claims surfaced that the U.S. Navy conducted electromagnetic experiments near Bermuda. In Alaska, strange anomalies were reported during military radar tests. And in the Great Lakes Triangle, witnesses reported radar interference during Navy exercises in the 1970s. The declassified documents were still covered in black lines. Coordinates, dates, and the most important sentence, all redacted. Why? If these were just accidents, why are the most crucial lines still blacked out to this day? When it comes to this mystery, 4 main theories are often mentioned. First, magnetic anomalies. Reports say compasses fail to point north and the readings swing wildly, leaving pilots lost. Second, time distortion. My watch just stopped. Minutes were gone in an instant. In the 1970s, a pilot flying over Bermuda reported,
I flew for 10 minutes, but 30 minutes had passed.
Similar testimony came from Alaska.
It felt like time stopped within the fog.
Third, military experiments. The Philadelphia experiment has long been dismissed as urban legend. Its reality is still debated. Some try to link it to these disappearances, but conclusive proof remains elusive. Fourth, unidentified aerial phenomena. Witnesses reported strange, powerful lights, though none were ever verified. In Alaska, reports of unidentified craft have continued. Reports of UAPs are piling up, even in Congress and government files. Still, they remain unidentified, and no direct link to these regions has been proven. So is it all just a mistake of perception? Or something far bigger, being kept secret? Nothing has ever been proven, yet the pieces of the puzzle continue to stack up. The Bermuda Triangle, the Alaska Triangle, and the Great Lakes Triangle. Every day, hundreds of planes and dozens of ships pass through these waters. Most arrive safely. But sometimes disappearances are reported with no clear cause. According to monitoring agencies, these areas are not statistically more dangerous. Yet the perceived risk feels far greater than the numbers suggest. If there's nothing extraordinary here, why are the classified documents still sealed away? Why is the truth so stubbornly locked away? The data was cold and the final coordinates were always blank. Even now, the disappearances continue. Remember this: the truth lies somewhere in the ocean and the fog. And the moment we try to uncover it, we may never come back. The ocean never gave an answer. It only left behind the final coordinates. No distress calls and the record went dark. Leave one line. Don't miss out on the next content. Subscribe, like, and turn on notifications.